Now, live from the kbey studios in Marble Falls, it's the Coach Todd Dodge Show. 30 minutes of sports information on the Marble Falls Mustangs with the Mustangs head coach, Todd Dodge. Reviews of previous games and this week's game to be heard exclusively on kbey 103.9. Now, your host, Jennifer Fierro and Ben Shields.
Thank you so much for joining us for edition 2 of the Coach Todd Dodge Show. Not only right here on kbey 103.9, but also on Northland Channel 15. So thank you so much for joining us. And good evening, Coach. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Just got off the practice field as usual, the way it will be on a Tuesday night. We've had really 2 good days of practice. Really pleased with the way that we labored on Labor Day. And, for high school football players and coaches, that's what you do. You don't get the day off. And had our players up there at 7:30 yesterday morning. Got our video work done. Started practice about 8:30. Got done. We got them out of there about 11:30 yesterday morning, and back to school today, and had a nice workout. Good Lord was good to us this afternoon with some nice weather, and got a lot done.
Still a little warm out there, though.
It was towards the end, but it was cloud cover and sprinkling as we started, so we'll take that all the time.
All right, Coach, it was a 49-23 LaGrange victory Friday night. Just your opening thoughts on the first game of the season for your Mustangs.
Well, wow, what a good-looking football team we played. I told Coach Cates when it was over with, enjoy this one because they've got the makings of an outstanding 3A football team, and that's a team that I think that come late November, December is going to be rolling, and they've got a good bunch, and had a lot of them back as we talked about last week, and very physical football team, and but I thought that our players just kind of in preparation, the bus trip, the pregame meal, the locker room before the game. I was really proud of them, the way that we improved as a football team from some mistakes we made last year early in the year on the road. We didn't get beat because of a lack of focus or because we were concerned with the wrong things. We got beat because we just got kind of out-physicaled, by a big physical football team. As far as the loss, it hurts. It hurts bad. We had a lot of guys in the locker room after the game that means a whole lot to. We prepare and we expect to win. And we didn't. We came up short. Very disappointed with that. There were definitely some bright moments that we can grow with, and a lot of mistakes made. And we've got to get better. And so far all we can do is control. After the fact is get in the next morning, look at the video, man up. When you're watching video with your coaches, don't wear your feelings on your sleeve. Get better, come to practice the next Monday, and work to get better. And that's what our kids have done, is answered the bell as we've preparation for Smithville.
Coach, tell us how you help your kids, you and the coaching staff, how you help them put this loss in perspective and behind them. Well,
you've heard me talk, Jennifer, many times since we've known each other about take inventory of things you can control. And the fact that that game is over with, it is over with. We can't allow a loss to slip into another game. We've got to learn from it. We've got to you take the positive and have some confidence from it, where there was some. Take the mistakes that we made and make sure we don't make them again. There were definitely some bright moments, and I'm sure we'll talk about those.
Oh, we certainly will, Coach. Now, Saturday mornings, how does that typically work for you guys after the game's over with?
Our coaching staff is in at 7:30, and basically the charge that I give to my staff is that they need to be ready, everything graded, goal boards done, unit grades done, individual grades done by 11. The players come in at 10. Actually, I gave them a little, because we got home so late, I gave them an extra 30 minutes of sleep on Saturday morning. They came in at 10:30. We get a lift in, and then they come to the team room. We go over our team goals. We go over our production points, see who was productive and who wasn't. And then we break up offensively and defensively, watch the video, and we usually try to get our players out of about 12:15. So typically we keep our players for about 2 hours and 15 minutes, and the coaching staff will stay and work on the next opponent till about 2, and then I kind of make them go home about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And by that time, it's pretty much non-productive. By the time about 2 o'clock hits on a Saturday, let them go home, spend some time with their families, and then we come back as a staff at 1 o'clock on Sunday, and then we work till 8 or 10 o'clock on Sunday night preparing the game plan for the next one.
24/7 job, Coach.
Yes, it is. When we signed up for this thing, we knew what it was, and that's just the way it is. It's the grind. It's the beautiful grind that we're in as coaches, and you obviously you enjoy in the off season the time with your families and everything, but your wife is pretty much raising the kids, during football season.
All right, it is the Coach Todd Dodge Show here on kbey 103.9 and Northland Channel 15, brought to you by Discount Beds and More on Highway 1431 in Marble Falls. We are back with more with Coach Todd Dodge. Coach, what you do like to do every ball game is look at some of the highlights from the past ball game. We'll do so now. Of course, you guys scored your first touchdown by Keith Romate at 7-7. You guys are down 21-7. It's 4th down and 2, and your freshman quarterback makes a big play. Your sophomore quarterback makes a big play.
Putin in the shotgun. Has the snap. Wants to throw. He's looking. He's throwing down the middle. It's caught. Ty Coffey down to the 5-yard line. That's a gain of 16 yards for the Mustangs on 4th down and 2 as they converted.
How big of a play is that for your sophomore quarterback to calm him down?
Well, he was, the entire evening, I thought he played really well for his first varsity start, and considering as young as he is, and he's only going to grow. But that was a big-time throw on 4th and 2. We were down in kind of in 4-down territory. We talked about on 3rd down that we were going to, two plays to get it. And, he put a strike on Ty on the glance route to the single receiver. Big-time throw, great catch, and great protection.
Next play, the Mustangs, they find pay dirt.
1st down and goal at the 5. The handoff to Jerome goes up the middle. Touchdown, Mustangs. The Mustangs back on the board. Keith Jerome with that 5-yard run.
Keith, certainly the leader of this offense for your Stangs.
Well, Keith was the most productive player on as far as our production points. All of our players, we grade them and look at their production points, and Keith had 54 production points for the game, which was the most on our offense. That really the mistake that Keith made. He had one fumble. He needs to do a better job of protecting the ball, but he really ran tough, caught the ball out of the backfield a couple of times. And I also want to mention, our backup running back, Tyler Ryan. Boy, we just, we love that kid. He is such a versatile football player. He does a lot for us. Came in and played really well, when Keith went out with some cramps. And, we put a little new wrinkle into our goal line package. We put a little bit heavier package in. And both times when Keith scored, we had passes that got us down inside the 5-yard line. We put our, what we call our jumbo set in. And Tyler was a big part of helping us get into the end zone.
Guys score with 8:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. Again, the sophomore quarterback, he is finding his big target, Garrett Gray.
Wooten has it, looking for the end zone for Gray. He's got it, touchdown. Wooten and Gray, they connect on a 14-yard hookup for the Mustangs.
And hopefully that'll be the first of many hookups that those two guys will have over the year.
Well, that was a big drive for us. We're down 28-14 at halftime. We knew we were going to get the ball first. You were talking about, getting our tempo going to start the second half, and that's something that I kind of want to share with the fans. It's a huge goal of ours to score on the first possession of the game or the first possession of the second half. Either one of them will get us the goal, and we were able to score on both the first possession of the game and the half. So that was really encouraging for our offensive staff. But we went 10 plays. Went down the field, running, passing, and had the big strike to Garrett, there, in the red zone.
And then the last score for you guys, a 31-yard field goal.
The 31-yard field goal from the left hash. Ryan with the hold. Snap is good. Hold is good. 31-yard field goal in the air. It's got the distance, and it is good.
To have your place kicker Osonio to be able to nail one in the opening game has to make you feel pretty good in your special teams.
It does. I thought our special teams really played well overall. We tell our players that offense is, main goal, and their main job is score points. Defense, their main job is to keep them from scoring. And the special teams, is all the units together, is to create field position. And we were able to really create nice field position for ourselves. And if we can continue to do that, that's going to be really good because last year it was a struggle throughout the year, and so we are really putting extra emphasis on our special teams. We're putting a lot more time into it as we go into the year. I thought that obviously AO was kicked the ball well. He obviously got a field goal there. He does what you tell him to do. You know, he does not know a whole lot about the game, but he's very coachable and and he's got a live leg. I thought that our kickoff coverage, Cody Seelig went down on the opening kickoff, kept him inside the 25. We had Zuri Buchanan next kickoff, takes it down there, tackles him about the 22-yard line, and that's our goal, is to hold the opponent inside the 25. Matter of fact, Zuri Buchanan was our special teams player of the game, and so I wanted to mention that.
And you always do name players of the games afterwards, right? And scout team too.
Well, we'll be announcing our scout team players next week, but our offensive most productive player was Keith Jerome, and special teams, as I said, was Zuri Buchanan, and then our defensive most productive players were Aiden Parnell and Chance Armstrong, and those two kids really played well. Really proud of Aiden. You know, Aiden is a guy that, you know, played a lot of receiver for us last year. He will this year, but he's starting at corner. And, you know, the plan is to kind of rotate him and JT. But, you know, Aiden was playing really well on defense, and JT was playing really well on offense. And I think, you know, Aiden led us with tackles. I think he had 11 tackles on the night, and just unbelievable hustle. And you're what you expect out of a senior. But it was he's showing great leadership.
It is the Coach Todd Dodge Show, live on kbey 103.9, Texas Best Country, and on Northland Channel 15. So thank you so much for tuning in. It is brought to you by Discount Beds and More in Marble Falls. It's a great night. It is football season. Glad it's finally here. We're on kbey 103.9 and Northland Channel 15, and we've got Coach Todd Dodge with us, joining us every Tuesday evening. So after you're done here, Coach, what do you go do?
Back to the field house for some video work. I'll watch practice, you know, of today's practice, and look at a little bit more of Smithville and before I go home tonight.
Now, when do the middle school games begin? Because I know you like to go check them out.
Right, next week. Yeah, they'll start. The 12th is their first game, and so it all cranks up for our young Mustangs next week, and excited to see them. I know Coach Norwood and his staff are doing a great job with them.
How exciting is it to see these guys teach just get taught the basics of football and your offense? Well,
it's you know, our middle school coaching staff has been outstanding. You know, under the leadership of David Norwood, and you know, we've got some guys there that you know, have really taken the base offense, the base defense, and they spend a lot of time with the varsity staff. You know, people don't realize, but you know, we go to work on July 25th. You know, and we work for a week before we go to our coaches' convention. Then we come back. We go to work again a whole week before we get our players. And all of that time, our middle school staff is with us. When we're going through fall camp, when the varsity is practicing, our middle school coaches are with us at practice, helping with practice. And so that all of that is just time for them to absorb what we're doing. And then, obviously, when we get our 7th and 8th graders, is to continue to put our program in place.
And again, that'll start next week, and so the 8th graders play on Tuesday nights beginning next week. All right, Coach, so the Smithville Tigers come to town. Coach Wayne Childs and his team lost last week to Lampasas, 47-6. Tell us a little bit more about this 2013 squad from Smithville.
Well, first of all, that 47-6 score, we're not going to be fooled by that. You know, this is a team that you know, we went on the road last year. They beat us, I guess, 40-30. You know, right in, I guess that was close to the score. We're very disappointing loss, but you know, they got after us, and he does a great job coaching them. They've got you know, a young football team. You know, in comparison to LaGrange had a lot of starters back. This bunch does not, but the ones that they do have back are outstanding. You know, and you know, the kind of the ringleader for them is Khalil McCathern. Khalil is the starting free safety. He is a kick returner. He is the starting quarterback. He's a Division I recruited defensive back, and he's playing quarterback for him this year. He's a big 6'3", 215-pound athlete, and you know, he rushed for 167 yards. So you know, we are you know, getting ready and excited about our home crowd. You know, one thing last year, as we went through the 5 home games, is I tell you that, you know, every single game, that home side was packed, and I just really appreciate our fans for coming out, and we're excited to get back into our home schedule.
Coach, tell us a little bit about your offensive line.
Well, it goes from left to right, and with Hunter Dooley, our senior Hunter Dooley, we go Chase Fry at left guard. We go We go at right guard. We've got Harkins. We go at right tackle. We got Becker, and then we got our centers is Sam Kahutek. So we go senior, junior, sophomore across the front. I really was pleased the way that they played. We threw the ball 49 times, probably, more than I anticipated us throwing it, but we were playing from behind and only gave up 1 sack in 49 pass attempts. Really, I thought that our offensive line, and that was the first start for all 5 of them, and thought that they played really well. Leadership is, coming, as I mentioned last week, from Dooley. It's coming from Chase Fry. Really pleased with Ryan Becker at right tackle. People don't realize, but Ryan Becker last year was a wide receiver on the freshman team. During the offseason, he's growing into a guy that is an offensive tackle, defensive end. And so, we moved him in the spring to offensive line and defensive line, and, a guy to play most all of his football years as a skill guy and then now play in the offensive line. It was pretty impressive. He made some mistakes, but, boy, he will absolutely play whistle to whistle. Drake Harkins moved over from linebacker to offensive line, played we snapped the ball 84 times. He played every snap. He played 84 snaps, and Drake is a competitor and a guy that's a real tough guy, and his presence is starting to take hold. Sam Kahutek, the center. Anytime you're a shotgun team and you snap the ball in shotgun 84 times and you don't have any errant snaps, that's good. And that was his first start. So I'm really pleased with the way offensive line played. And the fun thing about them, not even scratched the surface yet about how good I think that they can be.
One of the things I think about your offensive line is their speed may be a little better in 2013 than 2012. How important do you think that is with your air raid offense?
Well, there's no doubt. Very, very athletic is for an offensive line. Even Chase, as big as he is a athletic big guy. Dooley runs well. Obviously, Becker runs really well. We've got Harkins that moved over from linebacker. He was kind of an averagely fast linebacker. He's a very mobile, get out on the edge kind of guy at offensive guard. So yeah, that's got to be our forte. Is we're not as big, but we are much more athletic.
Now you talked about Becker. How common is it at the high school level? 15, 16-year-olds, they're growing into their body, and all of a sudden they come back one summer and they're just huge, and you have to change positions. Does that happen quite a bit?
Well, it's kind of one of those things you don't like to let that happen. It's before we got here, of course, we kind of let it play out. He played on the defense side of the ball a lot as a freshman at a defensive end, outside linebacker, but his offensive position always been wide receiver or tight end, I guess. And so, during his freshman year, that's what. But the one thing as a coach, you got to put him in the best position that you can to help your program, and that's what the best fit was. And he's going to be a really he's 6'4", he weighs about 205 now. He's got a chance to be a really big man by the time he's a senior in high school, and I think he's got a great future at offensive tackle.
It is the Coach Todd Dodge Show here on kbey 103.9 and Northland Channel 15, and we will be back to wrap up the show and much more right here on kbey. Thank you so much for joining us live this evening on kbey 103.9 and Northland Channel 15, brought to you exclusively by Discount Beds, and you can find them on Highway 1431 in Marble Falls. So big thanks to Discount Beds for bringing to you the Coach Todd Dodge Show.
Absolutely. And, Coach, you've got a big game against Smithville. I have the one advantage no one else on the staff has, in that you and I have already talked this morning. Mm-hmm. We talked a little bit about lack of explosive plays against LaGrange, and usually by definition that's plays that go for 20 yards or more.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that and the importance of having the explosive plays in your offense?
Right. When we played LaGrange last week, we were very efficient on first down. We got ourselves in a lot of second down and shorts. Our young quarterback, Brennan Wooten, was 20 of 24 on what we call bang homes. That's quick games. That's naked bootlegs. That's screens, all that kind of stuff. He was about 50% proficient on intermediate passing game, but we took 11 shots, which is about 3 more than normally we would take. We like to try to take about 8 shots a game, and last year we were able to hit some. And we want to try to hit about 40% of those shots, and we only hit 1 of 11. The game could have been a lot different had we just hit a couple more of those. We had an opportunity on our second drive where we had an open receiver and we had an overthrow, and then later on in the game we had, we just got to hit those against that man coverage, and so that's something we're working hard on. But overall, we want to complete 70% of our passes. We were short of that, in the first game.
Okay, and then of course the other thing that stood out about LaGrange was the cramps for some of the players. Do you think the guys now understand the importance of staying hydrated throughout the week? Yeah,
I mean, that's the thing that you talk to them, and obviously on game day we had more water than you can shake a stick at.
What about pickle juice?
Well, we'll try all of that good stuff, but it's something that we did have a problem with, and it's a problem throughout the state. If you don't, if players don't hydrate during the week, and during the day, and we're doing a lot more conditioning running. After practice. Yesterday we ran a bunch. Today we ran a little bit more, and we've got to do that on Monday and Tuesdays, and then they just got to hydrate. And once those cramps hit, it's very disheartening, because they may want to be on the field, and that's about the only thing that's keeping them off. They just can't go. And it hit Keith, and it hit Zuri, pretty bad the other night.
Now, y'all have the home opener here. You said at the end of your interview last week after LaGrange game that the team is very hungry for a win. Is there any reason to think that hunger hasn't increased since Friday night?
No, it's at a high right now. I can tell you that. Our players, came back yesterday very focused, ready to get better, very excited about playing at home. The one thing I've got as coaches, we got to make sure that we don't wish any of the preparation away. Every single day has got a purpose. Monday was good. It was a lot better than last Monday was for us. Tuesday today was really good. Tomorrow's got to be outstanding. In the preparation. Don't wish any of it away. And we're very excited to play at home, though, in front of our great homestand.
All right, Coach. So last week after the ball game on Saturday, it's not something you get to do very often, but now being closer to Austin, got to go watch your Horns in action, and your son, of course, Riley, coaching at UT. So I bet that was pretty neat to go do Saturday evening. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Elizabeth and I have been in the Dallas area our entire career, and very, very seldom have I been a chance to come watch them play in Austin. I got a chance to see, the Horns play Oklahoma in the Cotton Bowl, or when they played in the bowl game, the Cotton Bowl, but very rarely. And so now we're back, and when they play at night, we got a chance to go see them play, and then feel very blessed that Riley, Coach Brown, hired him on the staff back in April, and he works really closely with Major Applewhite. He's the offensive quality control, and he's hooked up on the headset. He's up top and hooked up with Major, and it's just a tremendous opportunity for Riley, getting great experience for his young coaching career. Do you talk and give him advice every day? Well, we do talk just about every day, and I'm getting advice from him sometimes now. It's really a lot of fun to have that kind of relationship with your son when we have so much in common, in the things that we're doing. So, we got a chance to see him after the game and talk about it a little bit. Do you like the view better from the stands than from the sideline when you played, Coach? I tell you what, the way my body feels when I wake up in the morning right now, I'm glad to be up there in the stands. But I left a lot of blood, sweat, and tears out on that field at Memorial Stadium, and but I love the Horns, and just glad to be back in the Hill Country and get a chance to be close so we can go see them play sometimes. All right, Coach, as always, thank you so much for your time. That'll wrap up this show, and good luck against the Smithville Tigers on Friday. We'll be doing this again next Tuesday at 6:30. I just wanted to mention our freshman team had a big win on the road against LaGrange, 14-6. JV was defeated, and then our B team, ninth graders, had a great effort against Johnson City's JV, and so I wanted to give them a shout out there. But our freshmen, really impressed with our freshmen going on the road and getting a big win at 14-6 against LaGrange. And they play Thursday? And they will play. Our freshmen will not play this Thursday. Smithville does not have a freshman team, so we're going to get a game in our off week to make up for that game. Our JV will be traveling to LaGrange to play their JV on Thursday night. All right, Coach, thank you very much. Talk to you next week. Thank you so much. This has been the Coach Todd Dodge Show, brought to you by Discount Beds and More in Marble Falls. Big thanks to them for bringing you the Coach Todd Dodge Show.